Hey guys, this is Trainer Dino here, and today we are back, and this is the part 2 of the story of Professor Oak. I was thinking about making the part 5 to the Paul story, but I thought that the uploads would be too frequent, so we are back to the story. And after this, I will be continuing the part 2 of the story of Max's Pokemon journey. So, anyways, in the last part, we saw the two friends, Samuel and Geo, beginning their journey from Pallet and Viridian Village respectively. They traveled through Viridian Forest, gathered data on some Pokemon, and then participated in the Pewter Village Poke Battle competition. There they won. There they both won the tournament, as their final battle ended in a draw, and as a result, they were both given two Pokeballs each. However, they were defeated by a mysterious young girl named Agatha at the entrance of the Mount Moon. Hence, they decided to train in Mount Moon until their Pokemon evolved, and they both caught more Pokemon and got stronger eventually. Before beginning the part, I would like to say that I would really appreciate if you guys show me some love and like and subscribe to my channel, because I'm really putting a lot of effort into making these videos and writing the script. So if you do so, that encourages me to make even more cooler videos. And anyways, say hello to my friend Incineroar. He will be with us for this edition. And if you want some other Pokemon up here, make sure to let me know in the comment section. Anyways, this is part 2 of the story of Professor Oak. Sam and Geo both were rigorously training in the Mount Moon. As they battled alongside their Charmander and Bulbasaur, they could feel that both of them were growing really strong. However, none of their Pokemon seemed to evolve, and this frustrated both of them. Geo even more so. Samuel, sensing that Geo was getting increasingly agitated throughout each training session, suggested that they should separate and train on their own for now, and meet at the entrance after their Pokemon have evolved. Geo agrees to this, and they both set off in the different parts of the cave. Geo immediately catches two new Pokemon for himself, a Geodude and a Nidoran. However, Samuel, on the other hand, is conservative with his Pokeballs, as he does not want to waste them on Pokemons which would not help him in the Cerulean Village tournament. He, however, encounters a really rare Pokemon in the topmost part of Mount Moon, just near the exit. It seems like this Pokemon is not particularly powerful, but Oak thinks it looks really cute, so he captures it. However, just as he does, he is confronted by two goons. They introduce themselves as Hugh and Doug, and ask Samuel to hand over the Pokemon he just got. Samuel asks them what's so special about that one, and they tell him that that Pokemon is Clefairy, and it is rumored that the Clefairy species comes from the moon itself, as they were extremely rare and only appeared on Mount Moon in this part of the year. They both ask Samuel to hand over the Clefairy, however he refuses and sends out his Bulbasaur to battle them. They send out a Golbat and Koffing respectively. Samuel is intrigued by this and asks what type their Pokemon are. The goons tell him that Golbat and Koffing are poison types, same as Bulbasaur. However, they will have the advantage in this one, as it is not only 2-on-1. However, and Golbat is a flying type which has the advantage over the grass type Bulbasaur. Samuel tries to hold his own using Tackle and Razor Leaf, however it proves futile as Bulbasaur is in- beaten up pretty bad. Seeing this, Samuel decides to send in Clefairy, but Bulbasaur refuses. After after so many hard training sessions together, Bulbasaur can sense that Samuel needs him right now, or else he will lose his newly caught Pokemon. Bulbasaur decides that enough is enough, as it begins to glow. Finally, their weeks and weeks of training are bearing fruit. I mean literally, as Bulbasaur evolves into an Ivysaur. As Silver arrives at the part of the cave, he is shocked by the sight of Ivysaur. Ivysaur makes quick work of both the goons, using Tackle and newly learned Vine Whip to pin down and defeat Golbat. After that, Coughing immediately starts to retreat, but is caught in a leech seed and eventually finished off with a razor leaf. Silver is absolutely irate at this fact that Sam was able to evolve. Geo is absolutely irate at this fact that Sam was able to evolve his Pokemon before him. However, he does not say anything, as he just waits. Before Oak deciding that Geo will show up eventually, exits the cave and heads on to Cerulean City to heal his Pokemon. After Samuel is gone, Geo walks up to the goons and introduces himself, and he asks them if they really want the Clefairy that bad. The goons tell him that they really do, and he offers them a partnership that they could participate in the Cerulean Village Battle Tournament together, and he would split the prize between them and help them capture Clefairy as long as they help him win the tournament. The goons agree, and a partnership is formed behind his friend's back. When he reaches Cerulean Village, Oak encounters Agatha, and he tells her that his Pokemon are now much stronger and he has a new Pokemon up his sleeve, and he will definitely defeat her this time. She just laughs it off, saying that she has not been sitting on her hands this whole time, and she has been training too. This would be even easier than the last time. Oak is pissed at this, but decides that he should heal up his Pokemon first. The next day, the tournament begins. However, this time the prizes are a bit different. The announcer says that the winner will receive $1,000 alongside two moonstones, which are extremely rare. Oak is intrigued by the moonstones and asks the announcer what do they do exactly. And he tells him that moonstone evolves a certain species of Pokemon. However, no one knows what they are. Oak is intrigued by this as he enters the registers himself for the tournament. Soon he sees Silver Geo coming up as he registers himself too, followed by Agatha and someone else who the local cheer for loudly, the reigning champion Waterflower. As the tournament begins, once again, just like the Pewter Village tournament, the friends are able to sweep through the lower level competition and find themselves in the semi-final yet again. Oak is pitted against the reigning champion, whose name who is referred to the locals as Waterflowers. He introduces himself to Oak and shakes hands, and and wishes him best of luck in their battle. However, he tells him that he has been the champion of this local tournament for the last three times, and this will not be an easy battle for Oak. Oak accepts this and sends out his Ivysaur. Waterflower sends out a Pokemon that Oak has never seen before, a Gyarados. It is absolutely humongous in front of his Ivysaur, even though Ivysaur grew quite a bit after evolving. Oak intrigued asks what type Gyarados is, and Waterflower replies that Gyarados is a water and flying type. Oak immediately theorizes that since it is a water and a flying type, ultimately the grass moves will do normal damage on Gyarados. He decides that he has to play it smart, as he starts off with Stun Spore. Gyarados immediately dodges it and connects with a Hydro Pump. Although it is not much damage, it manages to send Ivysaur flying. Ivysaur rallies with a tackle attack, followed by a Leech Seed which connects and starts to sap Gyarados' energy. Gyarados connects with a Hyper Beam, and Ivysaur counters it with the Razor Leaf. However, Hyper Beam immediately overpowers Razor Leaf and sends Ivysaur flying yet again, this time damaging him quite a bit. This, however, leaves Gyarados immobilized, as Oak is confused as to what is happening. Waterflower tells him that Hyper Beam, although a really powerful move, leaves the user immobilized for the next turn. Oak takes advantage of this and connects with a Stun Spore, which paralyzes Gyarados. After this, Ivysaur is healed up a little bit by the Leech Seed. He connects with a Razor Leaf as Gyarados dodges it and tries to bind him up. However, Ivysaur climbs up Gyarados' tail and Oak orders him to use another Razor Leaf. This time it hits as it causes significant damage to Gyarados. Gyarados retaliates with Bite as Oak orders Ivysaur to fire Razor Leaf straight into its mouth. This causes even more damage as Gyarados is not only tired but its health is sapped more and more by the leech seed. All the locals start to clap and cheer as they had not seen a battle like this in quite a while. Deciding to end this once and for all, the Waterflower commands Gyarados to use a Hyper Beam once again. Oak, sensing that this is his chance, orders Ivysaur to use Vine Whip to close Gyarados' mouth. This works as Gyarados' Hyper Beam explodes within itself, causing major damage. Oak follows this up by a powerful Razor Leaf which finally defeats the Water and Flying type. The crowd erupts cheering for Oak as Waterflower congratulates him on a great battle and promises that he will grow even stronger and they would battle again. Oak finally realizes the thrill of the battle, as he had never enjoyed himself this much in a long time. He also thanks Waterflower and says that and promises to battle him once again. This brings us to the second semi-final. This is of course Geo versus Agatha. Geo is extremely confident heading into this battle, as he tells Agatha that this will not be like the last time, as he has a secret trick up his sleeve, and he sends out a Nidorino. Oak is surprised that Geo was able to evolve his newly caught Nidoran so quickly. Agatha, however, starts to laugh hysterically as he asks Geo if he really thought that she would go down that easily, as she sends out her own secret weapon, a Gengar. Geo is terrified at the sight of the Gengar and asks if it is the same Haunter. Agatha tells her that it is, and Haunter and certain Pokemon evolve just by trading. So all she had to do was trade her Haunter and then take it back from a trainer in the village. Silver, however, decides that he has to battle her and would do everything in his power to beat her, as he starts off with a horn attack. This, however, immediately passes through Gengar, as it has no effect on a ghost type. Agatha calls Geo a noob and tells him that he has no chance of beating her. Geo is absolutely irate at this, as he orders Nidorino to use Bite attack. This, however, also passes through Gengar, as it is yet another normal type move. Agatha keeps dodging Geo's attack, irritating him more and more. This is turning out to be a same drag, as none of Nidorino's move affect Gengar all that much. He fires a poison sting, but Gengar resists it, as it is also a poison type. However, and soon enough Nidorino starts to tire out, and Agatha, sensing her opportunity, orders Gengar to use a psychic attack. This immediately defeats Nidorino, and as the entire crowd starts to laugh at Geo. This was not a close battle, not at all, as Geo was completely outclassed by Agatha. Agatha mocks him, saying that he was right about things not being different like the last time. This time, this was even easier. Silver is absolutely angry at this and promises her that the next time they fight, he would not only beat her but also take her Gengar. Agatha, however, laughs it off as she prepares for the final battle. This, of course, is against Oak. Realizing that Ivysaur is really tired from the last fight, he has no choice but to send out Clefairy. Clefairy and Gengar's movements are really identical, as Agatha stares at the Pokemon curiously, saying that she has not seen a Clefairy ever before. Oak corrects her and says that this is indeed a rare Pokemon, and this will win him the battle. Agatha, however, is skeptical of this and orders Gengar to use a Nightshade. This immediately passes through Clefairy, as Oak realizes that Ghost type, just as normal types move do zero damage on Ghost type, it is same the other way around. Sensing his chance, Oak orders Clefairy to use the only move that she has, and he orders a metronome attack, not knowing what it is. Clefairy's metronome immediately turns into a move they have never seen before, a track, as Gengar is infatuated by Clefairy. It is unable to use Toxic or any other move it has in its arsenal as it is completely immobilized. Oak, Oak starts spamming metronome attacks which turns into a thunderbolt, flamethrower, razor leaf, among others. Agatha starts becoming irritated at this and snaps at Gengar, telling him to telling him to shake it off. However, this does not work as the final move Clefairy's metronome produces is a Dream Eater, which saps Gengar's health, defeating him. The crowd starts to cheer and laugh at this as Oak wins his next second tournament in a row. Although Agatha is angry at her defeat, she is amused at learning more about Pokemon and congratulates Oak, saying that she looks forward to her next battle. However, as Oak starts to receive his award, he and Clefairy are immediately attacked by Golbat and Koffing. These are the same Pokemon of the goons who attacked him in Mount Moon. As Koffing uses a poison gas attack, it not only immobilizes Clefairy but also leaves Oak really injured and coughing for air. He is however saved by Waterflower and Agatha. As the chase of the goon using their gold, as the chase of the goons using their Golduck and Gengar respectively. Golduck uses its water gun attack to produce fresh water as they heal up Oak. As Oak wakes up, the last thing he sees that Silver picking up a moonstone which he dropped previously. He picks up the single moonstone and starts walking off with the goons. The announcer hands Oak his second moonstone, saying that he was able to sneak it up as Silver was trying to take them both. Oak asks Oak asks Geo what is going on, as Geo tells him that this is where they part ways, and the next time he sees Oak, he will be taking all his Pokemon. Oak is distraught by this as he stares off in shock. Thanks for watching, guys. That will bring an end to this part. I have to admit I was like a little nervous narrating this part because I've never made an in-depth Pokemon story like this before. So I hope you guys enjoyed this part, and please guys like 5 likes for the next part because this story writing and this editing really takes a lot of effort. So I'd really appreciate if you guys like this reach the like goal this time. Thank you guys. God bless.